We hear this day in and day out. Those tasks that we take on that we later regret, and we're saying, I never should have agreed to do this. Oh my goodness, they take advantage of me. They just use me for this. Today, I am going to give you 5 of my boundaries that I have implemented in my life, and it makes life so much easier. So, what exactly is a boundary? A boundary is defined as a line that marks the limit of an area or a dividing line. It is an invisible line that defines what behaviors are acceptable for an individual. We put ourselves out here so much, and the reason is when we feel that hurt, that disappointment, that anxiety, that stress, it's because we have not mastered placing boundaries in our life. Boundary number 1, learn to say no. I'm going to say it louder for the people in the back. Learn to say no. Y'all, if this has not been the most powerful lesson that I have learned, especially at the age of 50, it feels so good to say no. I'm not going to even lie. I used to be a yes person in my younger years. I would take on so much that I knew I was stretching myself too thin. I was more of a people pleaser at that time in my life. I look back now and I see where the anxiety started, just taking on too much. I know my limits. No one knows my body better than me. So saying no, guys, is not a bad thing. It's really helping you. It's helping you to become that better person. When you place too much on your plate and you spread yourself too thin, what benefit are you to anyone? Honestly, we have a right to say no to others just as much as we have a right to say no to ourselves. It benefits us in the long run. I used to just fear saying no to something, especially to a family member, because I felt like, oh, I'm being selfish, or I could do this. This is family. It's expected of me. Tria never says no. But guys, when I learned the skill that I can say no, especially as an adult. When you were little, you had to do what your parents told you to do. But as an adult, I have the right to say no. Once I grasped that concept, life was so much easier, I promise you. Whether it be in my work life, my personal life, volunteering, which is a huge part. I love to donate. I love to give time. But if I feel that I am not taking care of myself, or it's too much on my plate, I have things I have to focus on within myself, and adding someone else's request is just too much sometimes. So saying no will benefit you both. Saying yes all the time took its toll on me. It affected me physically. I would get these horrible migraines because of lack of sleep, that kind of thing. Then I'm stressing, I'm adding more anxiety on my body. I'm getting just kind of in a depressed state, if you will, or you're kind of resentful. It's just so much easier to say no. Master that and you're well on your way. It's not that you're being mean or selfish with your time. It's self-love when you say no. Boundary number 2, do not participate in conversations that do not bring helpfulness or positivity to another person. This is easy to get drawn into: the name calling, the opinions, the gossip. I have learned a long time ago, I learned the hard way, just listening in body language a lot of times when you're listening to someone who may be saying harsh things about another, and any kind of engagement, or even a nodding of the head, or like, yeah, I agree, or anything that does not bring positivity or some type of resolution, refrain from it. Once I learned this, because I was around this a lot, and it would really kind of mess with my head with people. When you hear that negativity, it's so addictive. And just how my brain takes it in, it's almost like it's always, it used to be, always some type of truth with it. So I would go in with false assumptions. So what I have learned when I'm around anyone who is bad mouthing or saying anything in a derogatory way, I just remove myself from that conversation. It's not worth my time, and it's not bringing positivity and fruitfulness out in this world. So I don't like that type of stuff anyway, just naturally. But anytime that I'm in that type of surrounding, I just simply remove myself. And if I can't at that time and we're seated or at a dinner or something like that, some kind of function, I just don't say anything. Or I'll try to pivot and change the conversation. So I have found this very helpful. Lesson learned for me, I just stay in my lane. And if I don't know the exact happenings of that situation, I have nothing to say. I have nothing to say. But a lot of people struggle with this. You're put in that circle with these other people when you're really an innocent bystander, but just a few comments at all will really change a whole dynamic. I've heard someone out here call this method intentional non-engagement, and I think that is a perfect way to describe the action you should take in these situations. You'll realize that you are ultimately in charge of your reactions. And once you really accept that, it's so rewarding. It's a great feeling. Now, y'all, this is a big one, and I pray that you really pick up on this one. Take this one with you, keep it with you, okay? We see this so often, and it is really, honestly, easy to do. Realize that you do not have to argue with people on the internet. I know this is a challenge for so many people, guys. With all the social media platforms and everybody has the freedom to express their opinions on any and everything, especially the political reviews nowadays, it is so easy to be triggered. That's what these platforms are geared to do, honestly. These comments in here, these are, I call them fake people, even though we know they're real people, but these are people who will say things to just trigger you. They will say anything, some of the cruelest things ever they'll say out here, but they would never say them to your face. Never, never, okay? These are people, and a lot of times, not to be harsh, but these are cowardly people, especially those who bully. And it's a disgrace, but it's reality nowadays. Take the time to just really evaluate the situation. This is someone on here who has no clue who I am. I get it all the time on my channel, especially with my cooking content. People will just come so angrily. They'll be so upset, like an attack, like you don't do this, like there's only one way to make a recipe, right? So I anticipate, I already know that's coming, but it's all about how I respond. I'm not going to argue with somebody, hey, if you want to add a little more seasoning salt, knock yourself out. I'm not going to argue with you on the internet about that. This is my recipe, my channel, but some people just do not understand that, okay? So you're going to get those people who are very harsh in their comments, that kind of thing, but why argue about it? This is someone who you will never know. These people are in other countries. These people are just on other
planets, to be honest, sometimes.
With things I've seen lately on here. But the bottom line is you do not have to respond to that foolishness. You really don't. You choose your battles. I've always been taught that since I was yay high. Choose your battles. And now as an adult, I totally understand that that is so the case. Think before you respond. Think. Just take a minute. Take a minute, take it in, go for a walk, just take a bath, whatever you want to do. Take a hot shower, cold shower, whatever. But just refrain from that. You do not have to argue with people on the internet. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. It's a free world, okay? It really is. That's helped me a lot with just everything that's out here. Definitely with politics, guys. That's a touchy subject. I don't get on it at all. I don't talk about that stuff out here on any platform. Like I wouldn't talk about it at work. I don't talk about it in our church. We just don't talk about it. My husband and I, my family, we talk about things amongst ourselves. There's a time and a place for everything, and I don't believe the internet is that. That's me personally, but people do it, okay? The offensive comments on the internet, they're trying to get a rise out of you. Don't allow that. Just take a breath, think it through. That's a skill in itself, to be able to stop, just pause for a minute and just think it through before you respond. But people who do that, they want to be that bold force behind a camera, want to be that person, because that person doesn't exist face to face. If you have an issue with me, please come to me. We can sit down like civilized individuals and talk it through. That is the proper way. But if you learn to just not engage in that kind of activity, your life will be so much easier. It'll be a lot more peaceful. Boundary number 4. In this day and age, with all the technology, this kind of ties into the internet and replying to those comments. With this day and age, there's tablets, there's your iPhones, there's cameras, there's YouTube, Instagram, just everything, right? Just everything. And we are so embodied in this day and age that it becomes such almost like a requirement. It's mandatory in our lives these days. But this boundary right here has helped me tremendously, guys. And that is turning off your notifications on your devices. This one has really helped me, and I kid you not, it has helped me so much with my anxiety, with my sleep patterns. It's just been a godsend. Turn off the notifications. Like for me, for instance, I work remotely. So I'm working past the 40 hours a week when you work remotely, because you have that ability to check emails, something urgent that may go through. I find myself sometimes checking them on Saturdays, which I'm trying to break that habit. But I have my work phone. I have my personal phone. I have 3 laptops, and the notifications are going off 24/7. Now we know that those are going to go off during business hours, of course, but I'm talking about our personal cell phones and even the work cell phones for those that work remotely or travel and have a work phone. What I have done is when I turned off notifications, because I'm getting a lot of text throughout the day, because people know that I work remotely, so they just automatically think, oh, Tria has the time, she's going to reply, blah, blah, blah. I have learned to turn off those notifications, and I allot a time period throughout the day for me to check those notifications, guys, and to reply as I choose to reply. Okay, I can't be at everyone's beck and call all the time. It will drive me nuts. I am texting for work. I'm texting with my family. I'm texting with my friends. It's just a lot. But I have learned I need to organize my thoughts, my responsibilities throughout that day. It's not urgent for me to have my notifications on, because I tend to want to check those immediately, like right now. I don't know who this is. Oh goodness, but I'm putting it down, right? But I place those notifications on vibrate or silent. It has been so helpful for me, guys, because I used to feel like when I get those notifications, I need to respond immediately. That is not the case. Nothing's going to fall apart without me if I don't respond within 5 minutes. I had to realize that. If it's something urgent, I know that my husband is not far from work, from our house. He'll come here, or I need to get a landline, but that's okay. We're not going to do that because I'm trying to budget too. But you get what I'm saying. I check my phone, say within a 4-hour period, I may check my phone for that 1 hour, and then I'll respond then. But turn off notifications. Put your phone, if you need to, in another room. That is something that's really helped me, because if it's sitting right here beside me like it is now, I'm going to just kind of peek at it, all throughout the day when I'm supposed to be focusing on other projects. So removing those devices, guys, turning the notifications off, placing it somewhere else will significantly change your life. It really will. Make yourself less available. Use technology to make your life simpler. Technology should benefit you. Those notifications, that is a boundary. Anything that distracts us is a boundary. And boundary number 5, prioritize your health. This is the single most important boundary there is, in my opinion. We only get one body forever. I'm not saying that you have to be extreme like a gym rat or anything like that. My husband is, I am not. I go to the gym 3 to 4 days a week. I move my body. You nourish your body properly. What we put into our bodies is very important. Again, we get one body. Your health, if there's anything that's going to add any type of ill will to your health, that goes back to saying no. And you want to place that boundary in your life to be able to detect when your body needs rest. When your body is exhausted, you need to rest. If you need to move some, if you feel some kind of ailments in your body, move some. You'll be surprised at how much just a brisk walk can help you. Read a book, meditate, just take moments for yourself. Listen to your body. That is the single most important advice I can give you. We need to take care of our temple before we can help others. I listen to my body. I know enough that my body feels totally different after I walk versus when I do not walk. If I go to the gym and lift weights versus me skipping the gym, eating some junk, and not lifting weights. You can tell a huge difference. I feel more centered after a walk, after a workout. Just listen to your body. Your body will tell you what it needs. A big one for a lot of people is rest. Of course, we're going 100 miles an hour. Some people have families. You're driving on these busy highways to work. You have work pressures, you have family pressures, all of this. But if you're not taking care of your body, whether it be therapy, counseling, whatever it may be, it will make a huge difference. Guys, I hope these 5 boundaries helped you today. I hope you implement some in your life. I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you so much for tuning in. And until next time, be blessed. Bye-bye.